Let's take a look at how the markets fared today. While we recovered from the day's low, it was pretty much a flat session. The index quiet, closing, in fact, just steady around that 11,355 mark. So not a bad session, but overall we didn't really make much headway. Number of stocks that were in focus though, the Tata Motors DVR, for example, was up 10.5%. Granules India up about 8%. Bharti Infratel has been going strong, another 6% today that we saw on that counter. And Vodafone post the rebranding off the day's high, but still a nice 3% on that one. Apart from that, we saw ACC, HUL, TCS, HDFC, Dr. Reddy's was up 2.5% today. JSW Steel, Z Entertainment continuing its up move, and an Axis and an SPI also managing to see about a 0.5% move or so coming in there. So some of the key heavyweights, even in ITC, Infi, did manage to hold out. ITC also up about 2%. Remember, some of these names were looking quite weak or lackluster all of last week. So finally seeing a little bit of green there. However, on the downside, Tata Consumer cooled off. Escorts and M&M were seeing some cool off as well. PVR was down about 2.5%. UPL also trending lower, correction coming in there. Interglobe also lower by about 2.5%. We saw, Hero Motorcorp not see any kind of move coming in. Even last week, we saw two-wheelers really sit out. And Ultratech, Ashok Leyland again, which was active last week, was a little quiet today. Again, no major cuts, but cement was lagging, and Reliance also closed in the red, and some of the financial names just haven't been participating. So while we saw a few finally take off today, like an Axis or an SPI, the larger breadth was still relatively quiet. In fact, let's take you through some of the other other movers across the board. Clearly, it was a day where, ITC stood out, but on the financials, like a Bank of Baroda was okay, but a Bandhan Bank still seeing a 2.5% cut, for example. The Nifty Bank closed in the red. The IT index managed to close in the green, namely because of some of the names I mentioned that were contributing with some gains. Other than that, an AstraZeneca Pharma was very much in action today. So that was one to watch out for. Blue Dart, India Mart continuing its up move as well. A couple of those names stood out. Pharma continues to be on everyone's radar, even despite recent minor corrections after the run up. Clearly continuing to be a preferred bet. Sterlite Tech, some of the metal names in the back of anticipation of further hikes continue to be in focus as well. Adani Transmission, another 2-3% coming in on that one today. So a number of stocks to continue to keep on your radar. And that's really the overall action today. Keep an eye on the likes of Bharti Infratel going forward, and the key really will also be in the financials and how they kind of come back to the fore, what really is the trend that we observe there.